good evening and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club and welcome to St. Croix for round 2 of the HPEC. And let me tell you about the HPEC. Keep calling it HPEC, it's not right. It's initials, so I should say as is, but I will tell you what the HPEC is. HPEC stands for Hybrid Prototype Endurance Championship and is a modern Group 1 league focusing on the cutting edge post 2012 Group 1 cars and long tactical races. HPEC is one of the most demanding leagues going in VRC, where every 10th counts on every lap. Drivers will need to be masters of their machines, requiring a depth of knowledge of their car and circuit, the hybrid technology to make the most on race day, as well as being a master strategists. They will also need to be both mentally and physically robust in order to go the distance in HPEC. There you go, I called it that. The qualifying, they qualified on race 1. But no, there was no qualifying. There is no qualifying. They're just going to go reverse of the championship table. Just us. I was just reading the chats there. So the grid will be the opposite of what the table is, and they can choose between the Audi R18, the Nissan GTR LM Nismo, the Porsche 919 Hybrid, Toyota TS030 and the Toyota TS050. We had and it's a 90-minute timed race. I think all the tyres are available for them, but they can only use, I believe, the racing softs the once. Oh, where is it where it tells you that? I'll get there. I'm making my way downstairs to no, it is somewhere, I promise you. They can only use the softs once. I think it's racing softs, racing mediums, maybe racing hards. I ain't sure now. I should know these things. I'm sorry, guys. I've overlooked it somewhere. I don't know where. Cars. Championship. No, can't see it in that part. I'm sure that's a rule, or have I read that from somewhere else? Here we go. In the brief, good morning, HPEC. Today we head to France and the Circuit de St. Croix for round 2. Racing soft tyres may only be used for one stint, meaning if you have them on when you enter the pits, you must change to a harder compound. The track info is layout C. It's 6.727 miles, turns 23. And the race length is going to be 90 minutes and the time of day setting is at 8:30 in the evening. And that's it. Oh, and this the championship's reverse order. Oh, Rido, what's happening? Oh, Rido, he said he couldn't make it. I think he's quit the actual championship, it seems. It reads there. So there's 7 in the room, ready to race. IRG, Binko. We saw these guys having an absolute corker with Matt Psycho last week. Looks like Matt Psycho just sliding that Porsche through the I don't know the corners around here. We're just going to be guessing. Rivixter's in the pits with Jim, the 2 BWT sponsored cars, and Skyjacker in the, I want to say Monster, but I don't think it is actually Monster. In the chat, wow, we've got a few people. We've got more people in the chat than we have on the racetrack. Bunting saying you. I'm Scalian saying evening thingy and all. Pat also saying hello. Seeing double St. Croix tonight. Yes, the SNL group are doing St. Croix as well. It's weird how that all shakes out. Skyjacker saying evening bud. And Adam Hawley saying hi thingy, hi everyone. So yeah, 7 competitors it seems. We're hoping Kel's going to show, but he looks like he hasn't shown yet. The sauna guy. And Binko's off somewhere. No, someone turned up in the Discord. They were going to race tonight, and my word, they made everyone run around. Someone sorted them a livery out. Someone sorted But everyone got everything sorted out for him, and he said he might be late because he had to have a sauna before the race. I don't know, it all seemed like a bit of a joke to me. It seemed like the bloke was on a bit of a wind-up because there was no politeness. It was just, I need this, I need that. And then when he asked for the sponsorship, it seemed like he put a load of advertising in the Discord for some sort of sim company. And then right at the end he said he couldn't race, so I don't know. Graham asking if we could lower it to a 60-minute race if there's not a big turnout. I don't know, there's still good racing, 7 people I imagine. Last week it was the top 4 that was really intense, with a couple of battles further down the road. I don't know, it's them guys that are racing. Vic Jig said it is Monster Lol, and Skyjacker also is west of Jeffing time, I think, of our new member that turned up half an hour before race time, or whatever, an hour before race time, and started saying he wanted this and needed that, and it was a little bit of a good distraction just before the race. And in between that we had Rido saying he couldn't make it. I didn't know if that couldn't make it for the rest of the season or could not make it for this race. Skyjacker says it's still got to be 90 minutes or thingy gets itchy otherwise. Yeah, what else am I going to do? I won't have out to do for the last half hour. I'll just be talking to people with no racing. I'll be bouncing from, I'll jump over to the other guys. I threaten it. I'll go over to SNL. I'm sure they've got room in their lobby as well. I'll commentate for the last half hour of the Formula X. Don't make me do it, IRG. I'll do it. So Daz out there at the moment, trying to find a groove. He's got the medium tyres on. Now I have heard a whisper that the Audis, I believe the Audis may be the one to put your money on here because of their boost down the straights. I mean, I think the Audi is a superior machine in a straight line, is what the rumour is that I've heard. So we might see Jim. Who else is in an Audi? I can't tell. It might only be Jim, the only Audi boy out there. Rivixter, Rido quit HPEC question mark. I was practicing with him 45 minutes ago. And Matt Psycho says he'll be right back. Oh, we're going to extended length on here. Ah, Mama Sykes is in the chat. Hello, everyone. Oh, ciao, everyone. Look at her. Going all continental on us. Lovely. Great stuff. I'm going to have a quick check on the Discord, see if there's any rumblings in the pack. Oh, let me have a look in there. Okay. I don't know what F is going on around, but it doesn't look like there's any chat in the HPEC, so I'm sure they'll be lining up. Let me get to the table then and tell you. Let's work out what this reverse grid will be with who's here. We've got 7 of them, haven't we? Right, that's not where the table is. It must be in season info. Of course it is. There it is. So I'll tell you the table forward. Why not? Hell, we've had 1 round. Racer Brown was the winner of that one. So yeah, no, it doesn't look like Racer Brown's made it this week. Oh, Racer Brown's kid is poorly, so he can't make tonight. Oh, wounding for his championship as well. So Racer Brown, he won last week and he's on at 22 points with the fastest lap. IR Graham in second with 18 points. Binko third with 16 points. Matt Psycho fourth. Remember, he should have got that second place last week, but he had that small half spin and that's how tight it was up at the top. And that cost him second place, we assume, but we will never know. But Matt Psycho fourth on 14 points. Cymex fifth on 12 points. Can't see Cymex in the list tonight either. He was looking like a contender. 6th for Skyjacker with 11 points. Jim in 7th for 10 points. Rivixter 8th for 9 points. Rido 9th on 8 points. Pop Motorsport 10th on 7 points. Liam Anfield couldn't make it. Jokers didn't make it. And Daz is here though this week. So a lack of numbers is going to help those lower down the table. The likes of Rivixter, Jim and Daz. And like we already said, didn't we think Jim's got a good chance here? I'm sure I've heard a whisper. Oh no, he's not in an Audi. Who was it? Daz's? No, who was in that Audi? I was looking at someone in an Audi. No, I've lost them now. Is it Jim? Yes, it is Jim. So we're being asked if we're ready. Binko, good lad. He's gone for the capital R. Daz still old school with the Y. But I'll give him that. He's gone for a little Y, which I was very behind in the early days. But then the capital R came along, and I liked the way it stands. Riddickster on the Y. What is wrong with the man? Hey, we race each other in the Clio. Although Riddickster had an amazing job. I won't give away anything away. I haven't covered the Clio Cup yet, but yes, he was very good. We enjoyed ourselves. So the reverse of what I told you. So it should be Daz on pole, I am assuming, with a Riddickster in second, Jim third, Skyjacker fourth, Matt Psycho fifth, Binko sixth, and IRG seventh. Yeah, beat you, technology. Ooh, loads of chat going on. Racer Brown, yellow. Flashman saying evening all. Racer Brown with a capital R, and Pat saying K. Ooh, Pat's got his own little agenda going on out there, I see. Got to keep an eye on Pat. He's got something in his cooking, in his pot. So Daz, not being able to make round one. Here he is in round two to show what he can do. Riddickster in a great second. Third, Jim. Skyjacker fourth. And Matt Psycho in fifth. Binko in sixth. And IRG is in the last place for now. We've got a long race ahead of us. 1.5 hours of racing here at St. Croix. And it's going to be a tough one already. You see Riddickster. Looks like he's had a bit of a knock with a barrier. And Jim, we're saying Jim, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how the hybrids do, the batteries, the boosts, because there you can see the Toyota still got good boost by the end of the straight, but it does look like Jim was catching it up. It looks like Daz was having a bit of a wobble, and now Riddickster, oh, it looks like Riddickster and Daz had a bit of a coming together. I don't know if Riddickster was caught out, not expecting Daz in the corner then, but Daz has continued on in second. Jim, meanwhile, taking the lead in that Audi. If he wins, remember I called it. Oh, and there's Daz. He's got to get used to these cars. They can be beasts on those curbs. You've got to really learn to ride the curbs in these monster Group 1 cars. So Jim continuing in the lead. Binko up into second. Matt in third. IRG is now up into fourth. Skyjacker down into fifth place, with Daz recovering in sixth, and Riddickster in seventh spot there. He's on the medium tyres. We haven't looked around the tyres. So Jim started on the mediums also, but he's got Binko in the relentless car, relentlessly behind him. He's also started on those medium tyres. We've not even had one lap yet, and we've had a fair few changes. There is a Matt Psycho in third on also medium tyres, with IR Graham on those medium tyres. He was trying to give himself half an hour break, and there's Binko making a move into the corner, coming over the bridge, and he makes it stick, and now he is in first place ahead of Jim. Binko making away, but Jim in the straights. The Audi is fast. He's trying to come back at Binko, but Binko pulling away by the end of the corner, and he says, see you later. And meanwhile, IRG and Matt Psycho catching up. IRG in third, he's pulling out. He's having a look also of the Audi. They're both Audis. Audi on Audi action here. Lovely stuff. And you can see a Matt Psycho grabbing a toe from IRG there, trying to get himself ahead of Jim also. Can he do it in the corner? It's going to be about the brakes, and no. Jim comes over to defend that spot, and Matt Psycho stays in fourth, and Skyjacker edges a little closer to Matt Psycho. Meanwhile, Binko leading, pulling away from IRG, 9/10 between the two of them, both on medium tyres. But Binko in that Toyota seems to have continuous boost always, whereas that Audi seems to be running low on the boost quite a lot. There it is, building it up under braking, but it's just not banking it like that Toyota can. And we will see how that turns around. Whoa, he can't even slow it for that last corner. And Jim in third ahead of Matt Psycho. Skyjacker dropping a little bit away from Matt Psycho now, down to 2 seconds. And Adam has gone for a GL all. Good luck. Oh, there you go. Hey, I'm down with it. Sixth for Daz. Remember, it's his first round. He's easing his way in. Was it his, or is it? No. Yeah, it's his first round, sorry. That's his first round. And Rivik with that early move. It's put him low down, but he's going to come back at these guys. 2.5 seconds now behind Daz. So he's got a target. Binko, meanwhile, 1.9 seconds ahead of IR Graham, going great guns in car 49. Did you say 48? I think you said 48 on the side. That'd be the new way to really confuse the commentator, is put a different number in your car sheet than what's on the car. There is IRG in car 54. 2.3 seconds, and Matt Psycho in car 16 in third place, catching up with IRG right now. IR Graham, is it the boost? Who knows? He's got no boost at the moment. There you can see, like, Binko's boost, beautiful in that Toyota. He never seems to be without it. He's now 2.7 seconds ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham, he's only a second ahead of the Porsche. The Porsche also out of boost down over the bridge. Barely any boost, and the Audi totally out of boost. I'm trying to get my head around this boost. You can see the Audi harvests it under braking, as does the Porsche. Ah, there you go. The Toyota does run out of boost sometimes. It's a bit of braking that harvests it. Skyjacker in a fourth, but it looks like Jim is coming back at the Jacker, one or the other. The Jacker's dropping down to Jim, or Jimbo is climbing up that mountain and catching Skyjacker's Toyota. Skyjacker posted purples, but are we on lap 2? We are. That will be why then. Cheeky monkey. Jim in that Audi. And not too far behind them is Daz. So it's not as spread out as you think. They can all see each other, and Rivikster coming back at Daz as well. It's a long race, and you can see anything could happen in an hour and a half. So it's hard to catch, it's hard to read, but at the moment Binko has got control of this race. He's got the fastest lap off of the stop start, or the rolling start. Adam Binko in Porsche, not Toyota, sorry. There you go, Porsche. Duh. That's me not reading things proper. But yes, Binko out there in that Porsche, and that's what Matt Psycho's in as well, is it not? Yeah, Porsche. So yes, oh well, nice harvest. He's got loads of harvest there. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, Kale, it's 1/4 my friend. It's just way too late now, man. You can't start a race at 8:15. I am afraid. So Binko leading the way, nearly 3 seconds ahead of IR Graham, with 1 second to Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho slowly edging forward. He did a 2:58.767. It's a very long lap here. IR Graham at 2:59.8. IR Graham, they've got the same amount of fuel. Tyre wear's not even close to being in it yet. Skyjacker there. He's having to fend now from Jim. Jim has got himself all up in the Skyjacker's business. And now it's about to apply some pressure for that 4th place. We're on lap 3. Got a long way to go. Whoa, and Jim really lay on those brakes there. Skyjacker gets to live another couple of corners before Jim goes back on the attack. And he's in a Audi. I was thinking about trying to stick it out for a lap around here. I don't even know where the start is. Miles away. But Daz is only 5/10 now. Oh, he was. Oh, Daz has gone. Daz, for some reason, was ghosted then. He was getting very close to the back of Jimbo. As he comes around, I don't know what's happened to him. He's getting, oh, and he just gets a little bit off the road there, loses a bit of time. That must be where we saw him. Just caught the end of that one. But he's back there again, Daz. He's on the move. He's 10 seconds ahead of Rivikster now. It looked like Rivikster was catching up. Daz at some point. He's had a good lap, that last lap around. 2 seconds off of Daz's time. Jim, 7 seconds off of Daz's time. So Daz doing a cracking time there. My word, he was on pole as well. He didn't have his issues on the first lap. He's got a good pace in car 51. the Porsche. So Binko leading the way. 3 seconds. Oh, Matt Psycho's got ahead. Oh no, hang on. Matt Psycho has got himself ahead of IRG. We'll see if we can catch that. No, he's already done it. I apologise. So, great there. Great Scott. Great move from Matt Psycho. We didn't see, but he's got himself ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham now half second behind in third place. These guys are 11.6 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, who himself is 4 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim is being pressured heavily by Daz. It looks like Jim's having an off. Jim's having a bit of a wiggle. He's off wide, having a nudge with the barrier, and he's back on again with Daz moving back up into 5th place. 4 seconds, but oh, Daz is hanging it right out over those curbs. Amazing stuff down here for 5th and 6th from Jim and Daz. Amazing racing, my word. But Daz now, he's got some time to kill. 4 seconds he's got to find on Skyjacker. Skyjacker did a 3:04.000. He's late on the brakes. He's screaming around that corner. And he's done a 3-minute lap before, has Daz. So if he gets his head down, he could easily catch Skyjacker up. And there you can see him in the background, bringing him along. Binko then leading 3 seconds now from Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho's pulled nearly a second on IR Graham. Is this the hybrid? Is this the hybrid that's doing the Audi, or is this tactics? A quarter of a tank of fuel for IR Graham, but it's a quarter of a tank for Matt Psycho also. So yes, I don't know. Oh, Matt Psycho's hanging it really wide out there, playing the game of dare. And IR Graham keeping it steady Eddie in the middle of the white lines. And oh no, Matt Psycho's he's really pushing now, is Matt Psycho. He's knocking barriers, he's going onto sand, and he's really doing his best. But IR Graham, he's just got to keep it steady and he'll catch him up. The way he's driving, Adam. Binko in Porsche, not Toyota. Yes, sorry, that was my mistake. I read that one. Binko at the moment, he's letting second and third fight it out between them as he tries to run and hide. We're still not sure of what the strategies are like here, but we don't know what the fuel burn is. The tyre wear doesn't look too rough at the moment. Looks like they're going to run out of fuel before they run out of tyres. So Binko, 2:59.071 last time around for him on lap 3. It puts him nearly 4 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho, who got the fastest lap last time around with a 2:57.990. And that puts him 1.5 seconds ahead of IR Graham, who did a 2:59.454. Skyjacker, we saw he's a 3:04. Hasn't quite crossed the line yet. Daz has got that down to under 4 seconds. He was 4.5 seconds behind Skyjacker, and it looks like he's bringing Jimbo along as well. Jim trying to stay close enough to Daz to grab that toe, and they can both set upon 4th place pretty soon. Racer Brown saying, oh man, wish I was racing. Dude, it would be awesome, man. You up there in the mix as well. I wonder where you would have been. So Binko crossing the line for another fastest lap, a 2:57.7. That's a 2 seconds faster than his last fastest lap. Matt Psycho managing a 2:59.1. And IR Graham, 1.5 seconds. I think he's saving, but it doesn't seem like the Audi saves as well as that Porsche does when it's going fast. But we will see. We'll see how it all shakes out in an hour and 17 minutes. These things are hard to judge in the early days. Skyjacker managing a 3:02.1 his last time around, whilst Daz a 3-minute dead. 3.3 seconds behind Skyjacker now is Daz. He's pulled another second out on Jim. Jim doing a 3:01.4. So Jim and Daz both going faster than Skyjacker. Skyjacker looks like he is conserving a bit more fuel than the two guys behind him though. So Skyjacker may be planning to go a little longer. And then behind, but he hangs that car out like he's driving like he stole it. A Rivix to there. He did a 3:13 his last time around. He's 21 seconds behind Jim at the moment. Binko, he's extended his lead now to 4.5 seconds with that 2:57.7 he did. They're in a bit of a holding pattern now. They're just trying to drive their cars around, keep it clean and tidy, the top three. Skyjacker's some 15 seconds behind the boys ahead at this point. But he's got a lot more fuel on than IRG. Matt Psycho's got even less than IR Graham. And Binko's conserving a little bit better than the two behind him at this point. We're 15 minutes into this hour and 30-minute race. We're on lap 5. We had some sort of huge malaise on first lap. A few people throwing it off. A few people getting in each other's way. Rivixter paid the price the most in his pink Toyota. So now he's out there doing a bit of testing. Cinquois is a fun track to drive though. Even if you're far away from the other guys, you can just get into your own head. Let's have a look. Get into your own head and have a little drive around. Get into the groove. Go along the straight here, heading towards a very tight right hand. Nearly comes back on itself virtually. So we're up to 180, 90 miles an hour, 192. Edging it up to 95, 196 miles an hour, heavy on the brakes, down to second gear, touch the apex, bring her around, beautiful stuff, back on that accelerator, banging through the gears, up she goes, 4th, 5th, just a light lift as we go through this wiggly section, then it's going to be quite a tight left, staying in 4th gear, going it with a lift. It's got good aerodynamics on these cars, carry a lot of speed through these corners with the grip. They're on medium tyres as well, remember, so he's just got it around that right hander lovely. Now we're going to flick it left in 3rd gear, missing the barrier, and now we're going to cross the start straight, going full beans, Billy Beans all the way up to the end. Adam Hawley asking if someone's racing numberless. I do believe IR Graham hasn't got a number because he's got 84 in his car. Whoa, a little wiggle there from Rivixter, but he did a 301.8 that last time around. He's on a mission now and he's on the move. So Matt Psycho, whoa, what happened? Oh, we see the end of something here. Looks like Binko just asked for too much from that Porsche over the curb. And he's just trying to get it back straightened up, and oh, he's lost first and second, but he's got the pace to catch those guys back up. Oh my word, action at the front as Binko drops it over a curb. So Matt Psycho is your new leader at 2:57.986 last time around in car 16. Matt Psycho absolutely flying at the moment. He's nearly 4 seconds ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham though could be going into some sort of fuel save mode, we don't know. He's having a little clip with the barrier. He hasn't put a number in his box, but he is car 54. It says it on the side. There you go. Here's IR Graham. Binko, he's car 49, and he was leading just 3 minutes ago or less. Now he's down to 3rd for one small, but that's how it happens. That's how easy it can come. It's not a done deal even for Matt Psycho and IRG. We saw IRG nudge a barrier. They're driving as fast as they can out there, and these cars are a handful. Skyjacker there still in 4th in car 99. In the monster, the beast of monsters, and Daz car 51. He's getting ever closer. He's staying now. He's staying at a kind of like a 3.5 seconds from Skyjacker. Skyjacker last time around did a 3:09, and Daz doing a 3:01.7. So they're kind of in a holding pattern. Jim's dropped way back from Daz, 10 seconds. 3:06 last time from Jim. He's in car 66 in that Audi, and Rivixter holding up the back of the field, car 84. So yes, IR Graham's forgot to do his number. Racer Brown says, has everyone started on mediums? They did, Mr. Brown. He's on tyre watch. So Matt Psycho leading the way by 5.5 seconds. So there's definitely different strategies, I believe. I don't know though, because their fuels are exactly the same between IR Graham and Matt Psycho. Maybe the Audi, maybe I was wrong about the Audi. I thought the Audi was going to look good here. I'm sure someone told me the Audi should perform well at St. Croix, but at the moment it looks like the best IRG is getting out of it is 259s, and Binko is catching him back up in the Porsche. Interesting fight we have ahead. Skyjacker 3 seconds now ahead of Daz. He's lost a little bit more time to the Porsche driver. There's many Porsches out there. Oh no, it's a Toyota that Skyjacker's in. Skyjacker was in a Porsche last season. That's why it's mixing me up somewhat. Yeah, Skyjacker 3.2 seconds from him and Daz. Jim 12.7 seconds adrift from Daz, but he's only 10 seconds ahead of Rivixter with a 306 and a 307 his last 2 laps. Rivixter doing a 301 and a 302. It seems Rivixter, the 2 BWT cars, are going to be in a nice little battle pretty soon. Meanwhile, Matt Psycho, he's extended again to nearly 7 seconds. And IRG has got a mirror full of Binko. Shall we get on board with Binko? In 3rd place. We're 20 minutes into this hour and 30-minute race. A long time to go, 90 minutes. And we've only got 69 minutes to go, dude. Sitting on board with Binko as he goes against the giant that is IRG. IR Gangster, IR Giant, IR. Good golly, he's fast. Whatever you want to call him. His friends call him Graham. Binko is there. He's on his tail now. He's been urging for this fight all week, has Binko. Toiling away, working hard with the idea of coming up against IR Graham in battle around St. Croix for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Matt Psycho meanwhile over 7 seconds. He got 4th last week, so he needs a good position, get his championship up and running. He is our reigning champion of the HPECs, Season 2 champ. Come back to defend his crown. And Binko there. Binko's making the move. Binko up the inside, but IRG sticks it out there. And IRG still in second. Binko having to concede the place. It looked a very tight squeeze there. Up the inside of IR Graham. Meanwhile, Skyjacker 3.5 seconds. They're yoing, but no. Spin. Not spin. That's not classed as a spin. It's a slide that went badly. But there Daz takes over 4th place while Skyjacker recovers. And he cracks on. But now he's got a battle on his hands, hunting down that Porsche ahead of him. And Daz on the move. 23 seconds behind that battle ahead of us. For 2nd and 3rd between IR Graham and Binko. And what a battle it's turning out to be. IR Graham defending with all of his might as he can as they cross the bridge. It's like Binko had to slow down a little bit more to get around that horrible little barrier that's in the way as you enter the bridge. And going up the hill, IR Graham now, he's pulled out a little bit of a second on Binko. This wasn't the best camera angle to choose, really, at this point in the race. We'll have a look at Daz though. Yes, we'll give it a go here. This will look good. So Daz just half a second ahead of Skyjacker in 4th. Skyjacker there, just sitting on the back end of a Daz's Porsche. Skyjacker in the Toyota. As you can see the bridge in the background. Beautiful views looking back from Daz's car. Matt Psycho leading from IR Graham. Binko, the last time we saw him in third, was a second behind IRG, but he'll be back on his tail pretty soon, and we will check that out. We'll go and have a look at the battle between Jim and Rivixter. Looked like Rivixter was catching Jim up near the end, and here comes a move. Is he going to go for it? There we see Skyjacker making a move up the inside of Daz there, and it was a beautiful move, and he got it. Made it stick, and Skyjacker back up into 4th place ahead of Daz. Cracking racing, guys. Jim is still 7.6 seconds ahead of Rivixter. 3:04 last time, Rivixter a 3:01. So Rivixter slowly chipping away at Jim's time. Jim could be into some major fuel saving, we're not sure. There's Matt Psycho, nearly 9 seconds ahead of IR Graham, and IR Graham has got definitely issues behind him, as he's got a spoiler full of Binko. Beautiful stuff then. IR Graham, ooh, very close there. Oh, Binko had a bit of a wobble on out of the corner, and that gives IR Graham a bit of breathing space in second place. This is all playing into Senor Psycho's hands. He's absolutely loving it in that child, oh, let me get the word right, Sick Children's Trust liveried Porsche. I'm sure I've said the name of it wrong a couple of times. Sick Children's Trust. And for some reason I kept calling it Sick Children's Society. But it's not, it's the Sick Children's Trust. Great charity that us at the VRC we've had an event for, and we are all fully behind. We think it's a great cause, beautiful cause. So Matt Psycho leading the way from IR Graham. 10 seconds now. IR Graham still maintaining it ahead of Binko. Binko throwing everything he's got at the Audi driver, and the Audi driver has just soaked it up. The tyres are starting to look a little traumatised now. Matt's maybe looks the best. He's just over a quarter of a tank of fuel. He's doing his fastest lap. Graham, he's way over a quarter of a tank of fuel, so he's got a bit more fuel than Mr. Psycho. And Binko there, he's got the best fuel. He's just under half, so out of fuel conservation, it looks like Binko has done best then. IR Graham and Matt Psycho used the most up out front. Skyjacker, he's doing really well, saving fuel. Daz, he's just over the quarter tank of fuel. He's a second behind Skyjacker at the moment. Jim as well, somewhere between quarter and a half tank of fuel. And Rivixter, he's just under half. Rivixter really looks after tyres and fuel extremely well. It's 8 seconds between him and Jim now, but Rivixter looking in a better position with fuel and tyres. So Matt Psycho could be the first one in. And we're only just coming up to an hour left. 26 minutes, 27 minutes of racing. No sign of a pit stop yet. Matt Psycho has just posted the fastest lap. That means it's hammer time in his world. What would we call it? Psycho time? To smash in those fast laps before we come into the pits. Racer Brown reminding us this is one of Matt's I like tracks. He does like this track a lot, so that's going to give him an extra little oomph. IR Graham still defending from Binko. These two keeping it interesting for each other at the moment, and for us really. So IRG just ahead of Binko. He's used a bit more fuel. Oh, the back end of that Audi wanting to go. It says release me, please release me, let me go. The voice is just buggered, I tell you. So IR Graham maintaining that second spot, even though the Audi is against him as well as a Porsche behind. Skyjacker in that fourth. He's pulled himself some time out from Daz. 2.7 seconds. And he is looking after fuel and tyres absolutely perfectly out there. Daz, he's down to a quarter of a tank of fuel. Tyre wear not too, a little bit more than Skyjacker. So Daz burning through his tyres a bit more. 302s regularly. The last 2 laps, 301 before that. Skyjacker maintaining a 301. He did a 305. We saw that drift that went wrong. And Jim in 6th. He's done a 305 that last time around. It's down to 5 seconds between him and Rivixter. Rivixter in the 302s. And Rivixter now on a push to try and catch Jim up. Cracking racing right at the front and the back of the pack. Matt Psycho, meanwhile, he's on Psycho time, pushing in those fastest laps before his pit stop. Maybe he's sussed these guys have fuel saved a little bit more than he has. And will go a little bit longer than maybe Matt Psycho plans to go. As we are coming up to 30 minutes of racing, these guys must be starting to feel it already. And they've got another hour, 60 minutes of it to go. It really does. I think 1 or 2 of them admitted they felt drained near the end. The last 30 minutes was a struggle for them. And with the intense racing that Binko and IR Graham have been doing for a fair few laps now, that is not going to help at all. IR Graham, he's on the brakes. Binko's having a look, but he can't quite get the purchase up the inside of the Audi car. And IR Graham doing just enough to stay ahead of Binko for the moment. But they've got a straight now. Binko trying to get that hybrid down onto the tarmac. And IRG, he's still got some hybrid there, which helps him pull away. I think that Audi is a little bit faster in a straight line. But here comes... Oh, I thought the Porsche was really looking for a move then. We've got to sit... Oh, God, we're in the wrong place. Sorry. They're on board with Binko. This is what he sees. And it's been some stunning stuff. Going for the move now. He's late braked it. Has he made it stick? It looks like he's got it, but they're side by side. But yes, Binko up into 2nd spot now. And what can IRG do from 3rd? I imagine he'll be grateful for a bit of a tow. He can save some fuel like Binko has. But he's had a bit of a wobble in the middle of the corner. But that's all right. There's Rivixter. Rivixter, the first one to come in, which surprises me. He seems to be doing the best with tyres and fuel. Jim stayed out there, a quarter of a tank of fuel. Daz is less than a quarter now. Skyjacker, he's still doing really well with fuel, is Skyjacker. Is he trying for a 1-stop? That is a tall order. A tall order to do, but I'm not sure, you know. They want to get to 45 minutes with 1 tank, so half 45 minutes, so at 20 odd, about 24 minutes, 22 minutes, they want to be on half a tank. He might be doing a 1-stop, you know, guys. Skyjacker might be on for a good 1-stopper here. That's very interesting. How much time? He's 43 seconds behind Matt Psycho, with Matt Psycho probably having to do an extra pit stop. And we have seen since the update pit stops taking anywhere between 30 to 40 seconds. Keep an eye on Skyjacker, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what's in store. But Skyjacker playing a very tactical game here. I think that's one to keep an eye out for. Daz will be pitting before Skyjacker. Jim also. Rivixter has been in. And all he's done is change his tyres. Interesting move. Very interesting. No fuel, tyre change. It's cost him around about, I'd say, 15 seconds. We don't know what the outlap is though. Matt Psycho, a 2:58.1 his last time around. He's got 16.5 second lead on Binko. Binko 2:59.9 last time around. He's got quarter of a tank of fuel. There comes Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho in on lap 11. At 33 minutes into the race, he is coming in to do a replenish and possibly change tyres. So Binko, he's got a few laps left in that car yet. He continues on, as does IRG. No, IR Graham's gone in. IR Graham, maybe his is down to tyre wear, but IR Graham going in as well. He's got a bit more fuel. So Binko, he stayed out for the long game. Has he got a similar tyre fuel as Skyjacker? No, Skyjacker's got a little bit more than Binko. Now Skyjacker is only 30 seconds off the lead. And it looks like you lose around about 30 seconds. Just no, 26 seconds a pit stop. Possibly. We'd have to look back at Rivixter, IR Graham. He's doing a 3 minute before. He did 3:27 on his pit stop lap. And there you can see Skyjacker not far behind IR Graham. And they've only got one stop to do each. And IR Graham was very close to Binko. So interesting stuff there. Daz has dropped it into the pits. Rivixter didn't really take on much fuel. He's put the soft tyres on. And we're going to see what he can do. Can he catch Daz up? Daz is on the move. Rivixter is on the start straight. It's going to be very tight. Daz is back onto the track. Daz is back on and he's racing 8.6 seconds ahead of a Rivixter. But it wasn't Daz that Rivixter was behind. It was Jim. Jim 6.8 seconds behind Daz with a pit stop still to go. Skyjacker, we think, is going halfway into this race, so we won't see him pit for another 10 minutes yet. Binko, he's got good fuel on board. Both Matt Psycho and IR Graham have pitted. They've both... No, Matt Psycho's gone for soft tyres, 3/4 of a tank of fuel. So he's going to look to do some hot, fast laps in this stint. And IR Graham, he's gone back to medium. Still, he's gone for 3/4 of a tank of fuel also. He's nearly 20 seconds behind Matt Psycho after their pit stops. And 2.3 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. But Skyjacker is on older tyres, but a lighter car underneath him. That IR Graham has got 3/4 of a tank of fuel he's carrying. So Binko, when will he pit? And Jim, how long can he go? It's 4.3 seconds now. He's losing time on Daz, with Daz on those soft tyres. Rivixter also going on to the softs at this point in the race. Very interesting indeed. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got racing during the week, all through the week. Coming up, just alone that hasn't done a racing live, we've got a Clio Cup to show you. We've got still a Sunday Cup in the Shelby Mustangs to show you, and we've got the Raptor raids. There's Binko into the pits, and we've got the Raptor raids. I think it's the Ford Raptor, is it? Racing. And there Matt Psycho retakes his lead. There he worked for, and he pulled himself a good fair whack of time out. It's down to IR Graham. Can IR Graham jump Binko with Binko's lengthier run? It'll be very close indeed. Here comes IR Graham. It's showing him as ahead, but Binko's on the move. He's back onto the track, and there's Binko. There's IRG. Where are they in relation to each other? Very close. Very, very close indeed, because IRG is going for an outside line now. He's going to go on the inside. He did the old switcheroo, and IR Graham back up into second place ahead of Binko, but it's not a done deal yet. Binko on those medium tyres, IR Graham also on the medium tyres, so they've both gone mediums in this second stint. Matt Psycho going for the soft, and it looks like their IRG just conceded the corner a bit, but to come back out of it with better speed. But Binko's got that inside line for this one, and IRG and Binko, they're really having a little ding-dong out there, rubbing a bit of paintwork. But IR Graham is in second, Binko in third, and that is far from over between those two. 10 seconds behind them is Skyjacker. We believe he's not going to be pitting for a few minutes yet. JVL F1 in the chat says hello. Hi JVL, how are you? You're an esports league. I'll have to check you guys out. I do like to watch as much racing as I can on the PooTube, and there's nothing better than a bunch of guys doing some sim racing. It's more fun than real stuff, if you ask me. So Matt Psycho 22.4 seconds leading from IR Graham, but IR Graham's only half a second ahead of third place Binko. Remember, Binko leading in the early days, threw it off the road a little bit, and he come back at IR Graham before the first pit stops, managed to get past IR Graham. IR Graham pitted, Binko carried on for a while. Now Binko's pitted, come out just at where IR Graham is. They've had a little tussle. IR Graham is now in second place, but I think Binko probably happy to sit behind IR Graham, grab a toe, save a bit of fuel. Works out for him. Excuse me. So Matt Psycho is leading by 23.3 seconds. Done deal here for Matt Psycho, one of his favourite tracks, in one of his favourite cars, the Group 1s. So it all added up. Finished fourth last week with, who was it who won? Racer Brown? Binko? I am not sure. I think it was Racer Brown. I think he was on another level. So Matt Psycho leading from IR Graham, 23 seconds behind, with Binko just less than a second behind IR Graham. Skyjacker now 25 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim's going off. Jim's fuel's low. It looks like Daz has caught him up and managed to get past him, but he's 27 seconds. Oh, he's going slow. Maybe they've had a coming together. So it looks like Daz is waiting. Oh, I could just do this. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see for ourselves. So Daz behind. He's gone for that inside line, and oh, I think he's had a bounce over the curbs, and he's given Jim a little knocky knock and sent Jim off into barrier land, and had to slow down, and now he's got himself back ahead of Jim. I missed that, sorry. Jim's tyres screaming out, and he wants to get into that pit as soon as possible. He's only 5 seconds ahead of Rivixter. We saw Rivixter short stop here, and Rivixter needs to come in as well. Is he going to continue on? It's a long lap. He continues on. Brave lad. Rivixter there, braving his fuel tank. He's just done his fastest lap of the race whilst Jim is in the pits. He's 6.5 seconds behind Daz. Matt Psycho 24.1 seconds ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham still only half a second ahead of Binko. It couldn't be any closer between these two. Skyjacker going for that one stop, hanging that car out. He's only got 4 more minutes to make it work for himself, but I think he's going to have to do another medium run. Daz in 5th, 29 seconds behind Skyjacker now. He's got a long way to go, but he could do it. He's allowed to burn up a lot more fuel than Skyjacker. Rivixter on a comeback. He's got himself ahead of Jim, but he's going to have to pit at the end of this lap, as Jim has at the end of the last lap. He was only just ahead of Rivixter. Now he's 28 seconds behind Riv, so that should put him roughly around about the same place on the track, if you ask me. Phooey. So Adam in the chat says Matt with a 2.556 dead. Oh darn, has he got a, yeah, he did. Wow, 256.00 on those racing soft tyres. He is a man on form in this race. He convinced himself he was going to win before the start, and that's what he's darn well going to do, it seems, and do it convincingly. IR Graham trying to defend from Binko. You kind of feel that Binko has got the pace on IR Graham today, and he's just kind of sitting there saving a bit of fuel. Maybe he knows Matt Psycho isn't beatable today, and IR Graham is his main person he's got to beat. And I don't know, it looks hectic between these two. I couldn't drive that fast for this long. It's crazy stuff. We've got 47 minutes left of racing now. We're virtually coming up to the halfway mark, and Skyjacker still not been into the pitch yet. Rivixter did, didn't he, on the end of his pit? Let's have a quick look. Did Rivixter pit? Oh, he hasn't got there yet. He wants to, though. He's still got some fuel left. 7.7 seconds behind Daz. 30 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim's put the soft tyres on and he's chucked loads of fuel in that bad boy. And it'll be, where is Jim and Rivixter when Rivixter comes out of the pits? He's coming past now to go in for his second stop, as we're at 46 minutes remaining. Matt Psycho, 27 seconds ahead, and he's done a 25.9 now. There's nothing stopping him. He's just going faster and faster. He's demoralising IRG and Binko sitting there doing 258s and looking at Matt Psycho in the 55s. Unfudging believable, Jeff. And Binko are really starting to turn that pressure up now. He wants past that Audi, and this is the one. Is he going to do it? No, there is IRG, the pesky alien, in Binko's way now. IR Graham moving over to break the toe. Binko says, sod your toe, I don't need it. This Porsche's got loads of battery power I can rely on, but your Audi does not. Let's have a look at that Audi's battery, totally flat. Whereas the Porsche, it's got a bit in now, the Porsche is flat. So both driving flat on engine power down this straight. Both need a corner to build a bit of brake up. And there you can see, I think that's when you lift off the Porsche. I think the Porsche builds up battery when you lift. So I think, whilst Binko is in the Audi's toe, he's going for a move up the inside. But yeah, I think all the time that the Porsche is in the Audi's toe. If he lifts, he can charge his battery. Whereas IRG is really struggling to get some charge in that battery whilst ahead of Binko, because I think the Audi, it only works under braking. He has to brake to charge the battery, where I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I can't remember, it's something to do with the Porsche. It only uses it when you're in a straight line or something, or it harvests it when you're not accelerating. I can't remember. If you know, answers on a postcard to Blue Peter, P.O. Box Blue Peter. So IRG still staying ahead of Binko there. Skyjacker is on fumes. He's got over the 45-minute mark, but he is just coming up to a pit stop window for that one stopper. He's got Daz 14 seconds behind him, but Daz will have to pit again. No doubt he'll go ahead of Skyjacker at this point, but Daz will have to pit. And Jim and Rivixter ended up behind Jim by like 14 seconds. He's topped right up with fuel, and he's put those medium tyres on, so possibly Rivixter is trying to go all the way to the end, where Jim will possibly have to stop, I don't know. And Mama Sykes saying nice. I think that's about Matt's pace. It's shocking. He's done a 2:55.4 now, guys. He really is a Psycho the Destroyer. And Racer Brown says, yeah, that's right, it only uses it when in a straight line, the Porsche. That's it. See, Racer Brown knows. So yeah, IRG finding it hard to keep his battery charged up, and the Porsche behind him having that hybrid to rely on for a little bit of extra horsepower. And IRG having to do everything to stay in that second spot. A 2:58.5, his fastest lap last time around from IR Graham. He's got half a tank of fuel. Binko, a little bit more fuel than that. And Matt Psycho, just under half a tank of fuel. Daz moved up to 4th place. Skyjacker back out from his pit stop, full tank of fuels. And yes, he's gone for another set of medium tyres. Jim, some 29 seconds behind him. And he is some 9 seconds ahead of Rivixter. Feel bad for Rivixter, really. He's had good pace today. Although that 3:17 he did last lap isn't great. That's not going to help against trying to catch Jim up. But Matt Psycho, no worries there. A 55.4 is unbelievable. What's he going to do this time around? 1:55.7. He's gone slow this lap. He took it easy. He lifted. IR Graham still in second spot, but you can feel that any minute Binko is gonna have a go. He's gonna have a bite at that Audi. Catches him up on a regular occasion. We have 41 minutes left of a racing. Matt Psycho leading from IRG with Binko in third spot. Daz in fourth. Now, is there a way Daz can keep that fourth spot from Skyjacker? He did a 2:57.8 last time around. Daz getting some great laps in on those 57s is going to help stay ahead of Skyjacker. He's just got to build that time up, hasn't he? He's got to build himself something like 30-40 seconds up to try and get a pit stop and get back out ahead of Skyjacker. Just behind Skyjacker might not even be so bad because Skyjacker's tyres will be old. Meanwhile, Matt Psycho, how can he keep this lead? Just do what he's doing, I think. Those 55s, no one else can get close to him. 58.1 from IR Graham, who's defending like mad, from Binko, who's only 3/10 behind him. Toying with the Audi is Binko, looking for an opportunity, but IR Graham hasn't presented one yet. It's back on board. He's in the tow. Is this the one? He's going. He's pulling up alongside. Is this the move? I don't think the Porsche's just got it in a straight line. IR Graham hanging it out, and no, Binko moving up into second place. Now Binko up into second on lap 17. No, he can't. I've just thought, I'm sure they have to use at least 2 compounds, don't they, Racer Brown? If you're on tyre duty, seeing who's using tyres, or are you just checking out that no one uses softs more than once? I get so confused between the rules, you know. I don't think there is a rule saying you can. I think racing mediums is mandatory, but there's no rule, and you can only use the softs once in a race. But there's no rules about just using mediums or something. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone will clarify, or if you go in Discord, you'll find it. But Skyjacker wrote the rules, so if he's gone back out on mediums for a second run and doesn't plan on pitting again, if anyone knows the rules, it's Skyjacker. So yeah, it must be fine. And Matt Psycho, I think it is. I think the only real rule is you can only use softs once. I think that is the only rule. And you wouldn't be able to make them last an hour and a half, so... But Matt Psycho leading from IRG. Oh, IRG's managed to get himself ahead of Binko just about. They're side by side going down the straight here. And it's that Audi in a straight line. I think it can just get ahead of the Porsche. But the Porsche in the corners rattles the Audi's cage all day long. A little lag there from Binko. Hopefully he stays with us. It's a long time to have someone's internet connection to maintain this level of racing. His PlayStation must be cooking. It's whirring like mine. It's ready to take off. Binko back up into second, messes no time around, and IRG trying to come back. Look at the battle these guys are having. They're not Clios, boys. They're not fun little hot hatchers. They're not built for this, guys. They're built for long endurance races, not close racing. You're meant to go, do your stint, pit, do your stint, and then at the end, whoa, Graham riding those curbs like he owns them. He's there. He's lost a bit of time to Binko through those section of corners, but that Audi, it comes back. Look at that. Time drops between Binko and IR Graham in the straights, but the Audi just drops its battery straight away under acceleration. Binko still carrying a little bit of hybrid power, as IR Graham has 0. Daz then, 19 seconds. He's not pulling that time out he needs. He's doing the lap times, 57s and 58s. But Skyjacker, he's in the 3 minutes, but he's 20 seconds. And we said Daz has got to pull, what, minimum of 30 seconds out on Skyjacker to be able to get that pit stop in. So, and it looks like it's a struggle for Daz. It looks like he's got through the best of his tyres. We've got 36 minutes left of racing. So he can't pit just yet. Skyjacker is playing the long game. 26 seconds ahead of Jim. Oh, Rivixter's dropped even further back behind Jim. Oh, a 3:12. Oh, there's been a 3:17 and a 3:12 from Rivixter. I think he's pushing hard on those medium tyres. And he's been making some mistakes. He's up now, though, on his fastest lap, which is a 3:05.36. Matt Psycho, what can be said? 39 seconds ahead. He could pit if he wanted, I think. He's got a pit stop in hand. Oh, Matt Hamilton. Lewis Psycho, would you ever want to call him? Mattilton. No, it doesn't work. But Matt Psycho on actual form today, and he has taken this race and made it his own. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel. Binko's got a half a tank of fuel though, but Binko is starting to look very laggy out there. So like I said, it's a long time to ask your internet to be connected. IRG, half a second behind Binko, just following him home, I imagine, trying to do a bit of fuel saving, because he's burnt a lot of fuel carrying Binko around for this stint. Daz then, he's down to 18 seconds gap between him and Skyjacker. He did a 3:08 that last time around. That's not going to help, but he's up on his fastest at the moment. Skyjacker, he's getting greens. He's just done a 3:08. No, 3:06.34, I think that is. Jim, 26 seconds behind him. He's done a 3:05. So Jim on at banging some laps in now. And another 3-minuter. Faster again, 3:070. So Jim getting to grips with this car, and there is the Rivster. Did a 3:12. Well, we saw that 3:12 last time. He's just coming up to the line. We'll see what he's done this time around. But Rivixter, I think, could have been on the back of Jim. They weren't that far behind after the pit stops. A 3:01 from Rivixter then. But it's maintaining it. It's maintaining it for a whole hour and a half. No mistakes. It's hard stuff. Hard work. We saw Matt Psycho drop it last week. We've seen Binko drop it this week. Even these guys, the cream, as you may say, even they can't maintain it all the time. IRG, he's in third spot now, 1.5 seconds behind the Porsche of Binko. Don't know if he's trying to fuel save at this point. There is Matt Psycho getting more purples as he drives around in his purple Porsche. Oh, purple bits of Porsche. There you go. Racer Brown says tyres is, yeah, you're only allowed softs one stint, but other than that, no other rules. So yeah, Skyjacker on a good move, but I think it's only going to be good for 4th spot. I thought he was going to rattle the cages of the leaders, but I just think their pace was a little bit too much today here at Saint-Croix, the street circuit around France. Very scenic around here. Skyjacker on about business. No more pit stops, driving to the line. 32 minutes to go. Daz is 22.9 seconds ahead of him, so Daz has started. Well, he did a 3:08 that last time around. Nothing's changed. They haven't crossed the line yet. Here comes Daz crossing the line, and he's going to grab himself a 2:58.1. So yeah, that's more like it, Daz. That's what you got to do to try and pull out as much of a lead as Skyjacker, because Skyjacker isn't pitting again. Skyjacker got a 3-minute on his last time around. And this one's not looking much different, still looking good. As he comes up to the line, 303. So Daz, nearly 5 seconds faster. That's what he's got to do though. Daz has just got to keep pulling those lap times out of his butt ski to try and be able to pit and come back out of the one stopping Skyjacker. Matt Psycho at the moment, we said he's got a pit stop in hand. He's coming up to a pit stop soon. With 30 minutes to go, he's down to his last dribble of fuel in that car. Binko, he's good on fuel. His tyres are looking quite fresh. He'll go long again. I can't see he's going to cause an upset with Matt Psycho now. And he's 2 seconds ahead of IR Graham. We saw he ended up behind IR Graham. He went longer in that first stint, so IR Graham pitted before, came out ahead after the pit stops, but Binko managing to get past IRG. Is that what's going to happen again in the next round of pit stops? IR Graham in the Zing Grey Audi. Daz there in 4th place. He's smashing out those lap times. He's got to. He's trying to build up a buffer from him and Skyjacker. Skyjacker on that one-stop strategy, doing everything he can. He's got to keep those lap times as close to the 3-minute mark as he can, to not let Daz be able to pull out that time that he needs. Jim, 26.5 seconds ahead of Rivixter. He's doing a nice 3-minute lap times now. He's got himself into a groove. There goes IR Graham. IR Graham, the first one to pit out of the top runners. Has he got something up his sleeve going into the last 30 minutes of this race? Matt Psycho continues on, but he's on a dribble of fuel. He's on fumes, they would say. Binko in 2nd place. He's still got 1/4 of a tank of fuel. Plenty to go on in that Porsche. IR Graham being released, and he's out ahead of Daz, but he had a good 50 seconds on Daz, so you would expect him to be out way ahead. And now he's 20-30 seconds behind Binko, so that's what he lost in that pit stop. He's put the soft tyres on. That's fighting talk. So what will Binko do when he comes to pit? And Matt Psycho, we expect to pit at the end of this lap. And Daz still, Daz is low on fuel as well. He's 25-second buffer. He's built on Skyjacker. Skyjacker on that one stop. His tyres are looking good. Daz has continued on. He's low on fuel though. Jim, he's got half a tank of fuel. Doesn't look like set to slow down at the moment. He's on a beautiful, consistent lap times at the moment with those 3 minutes. And Rivixter 3:01s, struggling to catch up. The Audi, is it Audi in front of him? Yeah. So IRG on his outlap now. What can he do? I think he's done what he can do. He's put the soft tyres on, and he's going to just try and balls it all the way to the end and hope he goes faster than the 2 Porsches ahead of him. Matt Psycho will be looking to come in the pits at the end of this lap. His runs have been absolute to perfection, and just as he comes to the end of the lap, he runs out of fuel. It's perfect timing. So Matt Psycho into the pits now. Binko some 44.8 seconds behind. I think we lose in about 30 seconds approximately in a pit stop. So Matt Psycho should get back out ahead of Binko and on his way to Glory Lane. Victory Lane, should I say. Binko, the only one of the top 3 now not to stop. We expect Daz in at the end of this lap. He's only 20 seconds behind IRG after IR Graham's pit stop. Now Matt Psycho, like I said, he's out ahead of Binko. Binko crosses the line, and he is now 15 seconds. So yeah, 30 seconds exactly. Matt Psycho's pit stop took him. Beautiful stuff. And that is now Matt Psycho all the way to the end. The medium tyres, full tank of fuel, and 26, just over 26 minutes of racing to go. Binko still not pitted. Still plenty of fuel there. I don't think that's going to get him to the end though. Skyjacker is the man to check for that. No, Skyjacker, loads of fuel in that car still. So Binko, he's not going to get all the way to the end. Racer Brown asks, if I join the lobby, can I still save the replay? Oh, I'm not sure, man. You can try, but I'm not sure. You weren't here at the beginning, was you? I don't know if your PlayStation saves it, or if it's just a data file saved. I honestly don't know these things. But Daz there, coming into the pits then. This is the man we're going to watch. I don't think it was enough. 27 seconds. Skyjacker hunting him down. Flashman asks, sorry, what happens in Glory Lane? You got to ask Nicole Kidman for that one. I think Tom Cruise showed her. So Daz is back out of the pits, and Skyjacker is in 5th on that same stretch of road, is he not? Daz just ahead. So Daz did just enough, but here comes Skyjacker arriving on the scene in 5th place. Skyjacker, older tyres, but he's in a groove where Daz has got to get used to the medium tyres again. And there goes Skyjacker making a move up the inside to grab 4th place. But has he though? Has he? Yes, he has. Daz there on fresher tyres though. Just chill, Daz. Plenty of time to go. We've got 24 minutes of racing. You can't do it all in 2 corners. You've got fresher tyres on. And Skyjacker has got to make those tyres last a very long time. And Daz has plenty of fuel where Skyjacker may have to save, but that's a close call there. Skyjacker's one stop, getting him that 4th place. Daz though very close to taking it away. Matt Psycho after his pit stop, still 14 seconds ahead of Binko. Binko, still a couple of laps left in the tank, and he is 29 seconds. It's very close to a pit stop ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham though on those soft tyres, he's going to be doing some ballistic lap times, or we expect, which is going to make it very hard for Binko to pull out a buffer on his old mediums, whilst IR Graham on those softs putting in some qualifying laps, making it more difficult. There goes Binko. Binko in the pits. Maybe he's seen that IR Graham's closing in and thinks, oof, it's now or never. I'm going to leave it too late, like Red Bull. Skyjacker then, he seems to have pulled away. He pulled away from Daz. Daz has lost 2 seconds on Skyjacker, but Daz, all he has to do, stay calm, stay chilled. He's got good pace. He was doing 2:57s, where Skyjacker, he can't drop below those 3 minutes lap times to get that fuel to last him. And there we go, Binko's out of the pits ahead of IR Graham. So Binko doing just enough, and he's gone on the soft tyres as well, to IR Graham's dismay. Oh, IR Graham's got it all to do. He did a 2:56.6 on that lap though, his first lap on those softs. And Binko making the call just right at the right time to come in, I think, or IR Graham would have closed that gap down too close, and Binko would have come out behind again. So Matt Psycho, what can you say? He's a legend. He's the reigning champion, and this is why he's the reigning champion. There may have not be a Racer Brown, so this week it's an anomaly. But Binko doing a cracking job in 2nd place, with IR Graham in 3rd. Skyjacker in 4th, but Daz is coming back at him. It was 2 seconds, but now it's only 8/10 for Daz. So seeing from Daz's position in his Porsche, as we chase down Skyjacker's Toyota, and we're closing, very close in the corner, but I think that's more Daz late braking than anything, but he's really on a push now to try and catch up that Toyota of Skyjacker's to try and get a position for his first race here, as he missed the first race. He's had a great debut in Season 2. So Matt Psycho is leading. He's done a 2:59 his last time around. Oh no, that was his outlap, sorry. But he's back on the medium tyres. He's got 40 minutes to play with, ahead of Binko. Binko, he was 4 seconds ahead of IRG, but now he's only 1.5 seconds ahead of IR Graham. So this is great stuff. Binko, can he maintain? He's lost a bit of time from IR Graham. IR Graham on an absolute push. Third isn't good enough today. He's battled hard. He wants that second place. Oof, I thought I saw something in the corner of my eye of someone off, but it's not. It's not that way at all. We've only got 7 Group 1 drivers. Skyjacker should open the rest of the season up for Group 3 cars. If people are too scared to drive the Group 1 cars, they can come and drive the Group 3 cars or something. These guys can just drive past them every other lap. IRG in third place, pushing hard. A 2:56.6 last time from him. Binko's was an outlap, so it's hard to judge, but it's 1.6 seconds between second and third, with 20 minutes left of racing to go. Daz is a second ahead of Skyjacker, so he's made the move, and I've missed it. I do apologise. I don't know if we'll catch it. No, he's already got it done. Big fat bummer on my behalf. I apologise, guys. But yeah, Daz in fourth, ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker did a 3:05.536 his last time around. Daz did a 3:03, so it's something on this lap that Daz has done, and that's been absolutely spectacular. Skyjacker down into fifth. Jim is only 5.2 seconds ahead of Rivixter. He did a 2:59.629 his last time around, but his tyres are looking pretty old. And Skyjacker's gone in. It's not a one-stop. He's gone in to put softs on, I reckon. He's gone in just to get softs, no fuel, maybe a little tap of fuel. But Matt Psycho out there. Maybe Skyjacker couldn't live with Daz there and thought, do you know what? He has put the softs on with no extra fuel. So Skyjacker just having a last-minute thought in this race with 20 odd minutes to go, or just under 20 minutes to go. Maybe Skyjacker fancies putting the softs on and seeing if he can catch Daz up. But at the moment, 16.6 seconds. Skyjacker is going to have to do some ballistic laps to make up that ground in the next 18 minutes. Matt Psycho, meanwhile, 39 seconds. He could ease off a little bit. There goes Rivixter and Jim, both into the pits. Jim's tyres are old. Rivixter's on the mediums. They look quite fresh, but maybe he fancies, I don't know, I think he might have done softs already. Jim's gone with mediums. And so has a Rivixter. So these two on fresh mediums, battling it out, with only 5 seconds between the two of them. There's a blue flag. I don't know why. I think that's just a pit thing. No, Matt Psycho is catching up. Rivixter. Wow. With 17 and a bit minutes to go. Matt Psycho catching up a bit of traffic, but I don't think it's going to affect that battle. Binko now 4 seconds ahead of IR Graham. IR Graham doing great. 2:56s, two 2:56s in a row, but Binko doing a 2:59, so I don't know how. Oh, there you go, that's how. He did a 2:55.2 and taken fastest lap from Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho will be aware of this and he will not be pleased. That's points. He's losing points there to Binko. Binko, an absolute gold mine of a lap. 2:55.2. Jeez, at this point they'll go into the 2:54s. So IR Graham 4.7 seconds and his shoulders slump. He pulls out a 257.850, but I just don't think he's got anything more in that Audi to give. Daz then 15 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker on operation. Attack Daz with my soft tyres. But first I've got to make up 15 seconds for that pit stop. In action. Jim, 6.7 seconds. He's enjoying the medium tyres a little bit more. Maybe Rivixter had to pull over to let Matt Psycho through. And if Jim has to do something similar, it'll cost him a bit of time also. Let's have a look at Matt Psycho. He hasn't quite caught Jim up yet. Maybe it's not Jim. There's Binko. He's going for another one. Did a 55.2. We saw that one, didn't we? Yeah, we saw the 55.2. It's crazy times. Absolutely crazy. There's Matt Psycho. I think he's got a while, hasn't he? They do give you the blue flags quite early in this game. And there is Jim. In his Audi BWT. Looks good. Looks good. Still getting those blues, but he's not really holding Matt Psycho up at this point. Just Matt Psycho is in the same sector as him, so they'll throw up the blue flags, I imagine. Binko really starting to pull away from IR Graham in the final 15 minutes, coming up to the final 15 minutes of this race. We're keeping an eye on Binko because he was getting purples earlier in this lap, and we are really ready to be amazed if he can get it into the 54s. It seemed impossible nearly an hour and 15 minutes ago, but these guys are just half a second down on his time. IRG just bringing it home, I imagine, now for third place. He held up a gallant battle. He fought as hard as he could in that Audi, but it just doesn't seem to have the pace of the Porsche today. Daz in fourth, 14.3 seconds. He did a 259.8. No, scrubbed out a 259.602 his last time around. Skyjacker a 59.7. Skyjacker, he's got to get it down into those 55s, I think, like those leaders are doing, to be able to catch Daz up before the end of this race. We've got 14 minutes of racing of this 1.5 hour race. 1.5 hour race. Not half, mum. So Matt Psycho, he's still not caught Jim up yet, but he's just getting there now. Jim will have to pull over. Will this help Rivixter out? Rivixter's some 11 seconds behind Jim now, so no. Even if Jim pulled over for Matt Psycho, I think Rivixter could not catch him up. Skyjacker on a hard push, trying to catch up. Daz in front of him. Daz's debut in season 2, I'd say, has gone very well for him. I'd be happy. He did 259.7 that last time around. And Skyjacker is the man we're watching. He does seem to be pulling closer. He's just coming along the start straight, and he manages a 257.9. Yes, that's what he needs to do. Some more of them, nearly 2 seconds faster than Daz. 2 seconds, quick calculation. Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to have enough laps left to catch him up, but we will keep an eye on that. And that Psycho dropping a bit of time as he got past the back markers, but Jim still a good 9 seconds ahead of a Rivixter with 12.5 minutes left of racing. It seems the Audi BWT just outshines the Toyota BWT a little bit, but there's always round 3. Next time, guys, next time. Matt Psycho 35 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor. What can you say about the reigning champion? Finished off of the podium round 1, and he came back with a vengeance in round 2. Binko having a cracking battle with IR Graham for majority of the hour and 30 minutes. But in the end, on the soft tyres, that Porsche, just a little too much for IR Graham's Audi to keep up with. And there is IR Graham, just bringing her home in third spot, with Daz in fourth. Nearly a minute off of the top three there for Daz. It's 11 seconds between him and Skyjacker. 11 minutes to go. Skyjacker's got to find a second a minute. And even then, he's still got to get past the Porsche of VRC Daz. And we will see. We will see. It's going to be tight. He's 2 tenths down on his fastest lap at the moment. Jim, he's bumped it back up to 10 seconds with him and Rivixter's battle. Rivixter going a little bit faster than he's gone at the moment. That's Psycho, 34 seconds. One thing's just winding down for the last 10 minutes, bringing her home. Making sure he drives it well, tuning the Porsche down a little bit. Binko now 11 seconds ahead of the Audi. Seems like he's cemented his second spot on the podium. Bunting in the chat saying, can I join in my Clio? You can. You'd still beat me in a Clio if I was in one of these. Oh, IR Graham's ghosted for some reason. IR Graham ghosted. Has he gone for a wee-wee? Possibly. Daz is 1 minute behind IR Graham. So maybe IR Graham fancies he can just ghost this for the rest of the race. And we will see. It's in the settings though, if you ghost it too long you get booted. I don't know. I think that is a setting though. I think you can have it as a setting. I'm sure I saw it when I was playing with the settings. But it looks like IRG, it's gone into autopilot for a bit. So Matt Psycho 33.1 seconds ahead of Binko. Binko on a push there at the end of the race, a 55.961. Yeah, Bunting said he'd get lapped 3 times. 5 times managed 1 lap. Not if I was in one of the Group 1 cars. So, Daz, it's down to 53 seconds. The challenge is on for Daz. If there has been something... Oh no, he's back to being solid again. So, maybe it was a call of nature. But that IRG back in the driver's seat. Daz is 10 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker managed a 58.1 last time around. Daz managing a 3 minutes, so it's another 2 seconds. Is it enough though? 8 minutes to go, 10 seconds. No, it needs to be 8 seconds. I said a second a minute. And at the moment, Daz is just managing to maintain. So, Matt Psycho, 32 seconds. Binko really pushing near the end. 2:55s. Remember, he was leading before his small spin. And I think he's just putting it out there. There goes IR Graham. He's coming to the pits. Not sure why. Maybe he's not happy with those softs. He's got to put mediums back on though. He cannot put softs on if he wants to try and get a faster lap. And there you go. He's gone on to the mediums. And there is Daz. It's down to 50 seconds. But IRG probably just wants a nice... He's got no reason not to pit stop. He's in no man's sky in that third place with nearly a minute ahead of fourth. And he'd lost a lot of time to the Porsches. Binko, he's just going balls out all the way, just hoping maybe Matt Psycho makes a mistake. But I don't think Matt Psycho is going to make a mistake today. He's on absolute form. Shadow Legion Racing. What's happening, Thingamajig? You okay? Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm not bad. I've had a bit of voice strain of late. but it's getting better. It wasn't through commentating, it was through singing Taylor Swift songs. Top of my voice. You know, once a month I afford myself a bottle of JD and Taylor Swift's greatest hits, and I belt them out. So IR Graham's just putting some fresh tyres on, nice and sticky, for the last 10 minutes or so. 6 minutes, wow. Daz is 9.8 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. I don't think it's going to be enough for Skyjacker to manage to get up on his business there, on Daz's business. God, I've got an itchy nose. What does that mean? I'm going to win money? I don't know. Probably that my nasal hairs are too long or something. Matt Psycho, 31 seconds. Like I said, he's just bringing her home for the lead. He's done his work today. Pulled his time out, Binko. Early leader. Had a bit of an off. Ended up in third. And he's been battling with IR Graham for a majority of this race. But on the last pit stops, he managed to get out ahead of IR Graham. And he has pelted it ever since in the Porsche. Whilst he's got those softs on. IR Graham banging around a little bit, but then I think his tyres were going off, so he decided to go in and give himself some fresh tyres to end the race on. He had no one in front to race, no one behind, so as his wish. And now he's 33 seconds ahead of Daz. Daz, Skyjacker doing a one stop. He's made it a two stop in the end after he couldn't keep up with Daz and realised he needed the new tyres. So he went on to softs near the end here, and he's been trying to close that time down. 7.8 seconds. We're only less than 5 minutes of racing. Daz's mediums will be getting older by the second. Even he can't maintain his lap times he was getting. So Skyjacker, he's on a massive push. 2.75 last time around with Daz's 2.58.9. So that is the big battle we have on track at the moment, but we think it might be just a tall order for Sky. Jim is some 8.7 seconds ahead of Rivixter. Rivixter keeps getting within 6 or so seconds of Jim, but then makes a small mistake, or Jim has a blistering lap and they start drifting apart again. Like last time around, Jim doing a 2.59.9 as a Rivixter doing a 3 minute. Legion in the chat saying, been a while, glad to hear you doing okay though, and getting better as well. Racer Brown saying, how's your racing going for the wheel, Legion? And Legion saying, it's going well, bought myself a Fanatec now with a track racer rig, TR8 rig, been really enjoying it, to be honest. There you go. That sounds like some fancy kit there, boy. I got a G29 that I have to take the pedals apart every couple of weeks, give them a good clean out. That's nailed to a big board. No, I don't know. I've got an ironing board set up. I've got one of those Amiga things. It's alright. It does alright. I like it. Doesn't make me any faster, but I like it. So Matt Psycho doing an absolute blinding job there. 3 minutes left of racing. Binko has been pounding those lap times out to try and cut the distance down on Matt Psycho. IR Graham pops back into the pits just for a more comfortable set of tyres, and why not? Daz there is 6 seconds. 2.5 minutes left of racing. Daz is really struggling on those tyres, it looks, with the lighter car. Skyjacker on those racing softs did a 2.57.511 last time around, and Daz doing a 2.59.5. Is there time? Is there time for Skyjacker yet to fight back for that 4th spot? Who knows? Shadow Legion Racing in the chat. Jesus, I'm not even going to say how much it nearly cost him. it's all set up ready for GT7. I guess that's good. Too much dollar for me, says Racer Brown. It's a bit rich for my blood. It's worth more than my car, dude. I drive around a car that's only a third of the cost. I think 700 quid my car was valued at last time. So not even less than a third of what your rig costs. A lot less. Oof. Matt Psycho, hey man, why not? Why not? If you could afford it, if I could afford it, I'd drop it on that. Just bloody kids. Bloody kids, wife, stranger. Some supportive words from my beautiful wife in the background there. You know what you can do. So, it's not what she said, she says. No, do you want, I can't say what you said to do because that's not allowed on air. Mine was the PG version. Everyone could guess what you know what you can do is. So Matt Psycho, sorry guys, I'm getting distracted. And Binko by the cost of Legion's rig and my wife's solution to me not having that rig. Racer Brown, it's the wife for me, with a big smile, and Flashman said, I have a pedal bike. Sorry Flashman, yeah, I'm showing off with my £700 Ford Focus. God. So Matt Psycho's bringing her home. It's lap 30, is it? All 13 seconds, he's going to have to do another lap. It's alright, he's got the fuel, and he looks like he's having the fun, so why not? Off you go, Matt, all on your own, matey. Everyone else is going to cross the line and finish. There's Binko. Daz, 4.2 seconds in the end with Daz. The timer has run out, so we can look at the Binkster. Jim has already crossed the line, sorry, in 6th. There he goes. Boom, well done. Then we're going to have the Binkster crossing the line. Binko, sorry, I'm not going to call you things like that. In 2nd place, well done. Rivixter as well, just before him, crossing the line. IR Graham bringing her home for the final step of the podium. I'm getting early. He's miles away from it, isn't he? There's loads of other people going to finish first. Where is it? Daz? No, not Daz. Who are all that group of people then? Oh, they've all finished. Sorry. I'm all over the place. I apologise. So, IR Graham on his way to finish in 3rd. There he is. He's in the final part now. And there he goes, IRG to take 3rd spot. This is going to be an interesting championship. Oh, he lost the Audi as he crossed the line. Purely by accident, Stewards. Honestly. There's Daz. It's 2.5 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Daz with the lump in his throat. Skyjacker, he's pushing like hell to 57.4 right near the end. Daz trying to cling on to that 4th spot. 2-second difference. Coming to the end of the race. On the final lap, in the final corner, Daz making it through on those old mediums. Hardly any fuel, coming towards the line, and there you can see Skyjacker in the background. Skyjacker so close, but well done, Daz for 4th, and Skyjacker 5th. Oh, did I say take a boo, my son, to IRG? And here comes a Mr. Psycho. What a race, what dominance. Great stuff from Matt Psycho there in that Porsche. A round 2 winner. Matt Psycho, fastest lap was by Binko with a 2:55.257. So Binko getting points for 2nd place and a fastest lap, whilst Matt Psycho takes it all. Beautiful stuff in the chat then. Shadow saying, yeah, believe me, it wasn't planned, just got excited and overspent, but I'm broke now. And Adam Hoy saying, good game all, thank you, Thingy. It's my pleasure, man. It really is, I love it. I can't get enough of this. That's it now, I'm not going to be able to go to bed for a couple of hours. I want to be all buzzing. So here comes Mr. Psycho, Matt Psycho, to his friends, taking the win. Well done. And they are your finishing results. Boom. Wow, IRG, the Audi just cannot regain hybrid at all. Yeah, we noticed that. Skyjacker is spent after all of that, and IRG also said, oh my god, that was the most frustrating race ever. I can imagine. Super stuff though. And let us have a look at those results. There you go, Matt Psycho in the end taking all the plaudits. Well done, Matt Psycho, on a great win. Binko in the end, Hartford second from IR Graham. IR Graham gets that final podium step, and Manny had to work for it in the Audi. He just did not have the battery power like the Porsche's got. So, take a boo, my son. Daz maintaining that fourth from a flying Skyjacker who was coming back at the Porsche, but in the end just couldn't get there. What was it in the end? 2 seconds, just under 2 seconds. And then we've got Jim in 6th, finishing ahead of Rivixter in 7th. Your fastest lap was Binko. He got it on lap 24 with a 2:55.257. There you go. In the chat, Shadow Legion, sorry. Good GG, guys. Looks like yet another great race. It was good fun. Racer Brown, congratulations. Matt Psycho, great race from all. Right. Well, that was Sunday night. Keep an eye out during the week for YouTube. Like I said, we've got the Clio Cups coming. We've got the Raptor Raids. We've got the Shelby GT350s. Tuesday night, we've got the Porsche Sprint Trophy. And then I think it's all quiet again until Sunday evening. So, got to get some racing on. In the chat, we've got Mama Sykes saying, awesome, Matt. Thanks, everyone. You owned it. Matthew. She full named you, Matthew. And Bunting said, smashed it, lads. Great stuff. Right then, that was that. If you want to be involved, go to our website, www.virtualracersclub.co.uk. You'll get a pop-up asking you to join our community, and that will take you through to our Discord where all of the action happens. Hopefully I'll see you in there. We can say hello to each other. You'll say, haha, heard you on YouTube, you were awful. And I'll say, cheers, thanks, welcome. Anything else? Right, that's me. I'm done. It's Sunday night, and now I'm going to go and climb the walls for a couple of hours. So, I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Anita Bang. Bless you all, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Mama Sykes says, thanks, Thingy. You're very welcome, Mama Sykes. And send my love to Matthew. Bye.